melati puntung, tumbuh melaka, sayang merebah di pohon cemara. Salam sembah kubu kebicara, majlis kita disambung semula. Yang berbahagia, datuk-datuk, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Saya selaku pengajar majlis anda pada petang ini, untuk pengetahuan para hadirin sekalian, untuk sesi pada hari ini terdapat sesi pembentangan yang dijalankan secara serentak di dalam ruangan Berhad. Hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, pembentangan Distribution Network Technical Conference DCON pada petang ini merupakan sesi yang ke-6, kohort yang ke-4, yang mana ia akan memfokuskan kepada New Technologies Application. Sesi ini akan dikemurusikan oleh Haji Lokman bin Yusof selaku Head SBU Asset Development Distribution Network Tenaga Nasional Berhad. Para hadirin yang saya hormati sekalian, sebelum saya memulakan sesi pembentangan kita pada petang ini, eloklah sekiranya saya memperkenalkan Tuan Pengerusi sesi pengerusi pada petang ini. Beliau merupakan graduan Bachelor of Engineering Manchester Metropolitan University, United Kingdom. Beliau mula berkhidmat di dalam TNB pada tahun 2003 sebagai juruteraganan perancangan faham Distribution Network, dan kini memegang jawatan Distribution Network di DCON Tenaga Nasional Berhad sebagai Head SBU Asset Development. Selain profesional engineer elektronik, beliau juga memiliki pelbagai professional qualification seperti Alperas persen FE 33 kV dan juga IEM. Itulah sedikit biodata dan latar belakang Tuan Pengerusi kita pada hari ini. Dengan itu, majlis dengan penuh hormat dan menjemput pengerusi sesi Haji Lokman bin Yusof untuk meneruskan persidangan ini. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan.
Terima kasih. Saya mula 93, bukan 2003. Yang ngomong yang lah kalau 2003. I'm the youngest. So everybody, welcome again for our next session. I think this is the last session before we end our DCON 2023. How many of you? The 6 speakers today going to share some knowledge, not to say they're experts, but the knowledge that we can conquer and then utilize in our daily tasks. First, I would like to introduce the first speaker, presenter, Engineer Kalaivarnan. Kalaivarnan. Dari Tamil, so far, his current is a quality engineer in SBU, already 6 years in service. Qualification, bachelor degree in electrical power from which university? Unitec. Okay. And then his qualification in professional in project management professional PMP. So far, the experience 6 years. Okay, Kalai will be presenting a topic analysis on impact of electric vehicle charging station in urban areas. Okay. The second presenter, I'd like to welcome Puan Siti Haja binti Anwar. I just received her biodata this morning. Okay. She's a team member of our deployment planning and monitoring for AMI. Already 4 years in service. Degree in electrical power engineering. So far she's involved in planning smart meter and deployment in North and Cloud. Okay. Next. Technologies. Khoo Shen. The former PMP. Okay. Please welcome Shen. I don't have to read your staff number, right? She's in SBU Asset Development again, already 5 years in service. Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Purdue School. Professional qualification, project management, professional PMP, professional technologies, and then she's also competent in 11 kV, competent person. So far involved in planning, other than a project. Currently she's enjoying her time at the End Engineering Center training. 1 more month ago. Okay. Next presenter is Miss Lauren David Emmanuel. Lauren. I think this is the first time we met. Okay, already 4 years in service. Team member, Smart Customer Operation, EMI. Academic qualification, Bachelor of International Business. Wow, International Business. Professional qualification, tak ada lagi, belum ada lagi. Okay, next one I want to call upon Samsul Arifin bin Muhammad. Samsul Arifin, 13 years in service already. Okay, professional engineer, certified energy manager, and then a subject matter expert in MIT cases, subject matter expert in court cases, subject matter expert BCRM, issue and CRM. Also quite QB, qualified person for 1 and 11 kV. Ada AO terhad, and then work experience 13 years already. And then last but not least, I'd like to welcome Kalaivarnan, the Pulau Hijau man. Okay, already 15 years in service, academic qualification degree in electrical power, also certified as a professional engineer, and then the varieties of field so far work experience from planning, maintenance, customer service. During 15 years. And then, of course, you guys know the rules, 30 minutes presentation. And then, of course, timekeeper, belakang. Okay, oh, I'm a timekeeper. Timekeeper will ring the bell. I'm not sure. Can you hear the bell? Sounds like, oh, okay. After 30 minutes, after 50 minutes, then you got 5 more minutes to complete your presentation. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Kalai to present the topic with the topic analysis on the impact of electric vehicles charging station in urban areas.
Yeah, everybody can hear me? Yeah, sure. Okay, my name is Kalaivarnan, and a very good afternoon to everyone. It's actually nice to see quite a number of people to attend here compared to morning. And without delaying, I would start with my title, which is Impact of High EV Charging Station in Distribution Network. So it's just the same thing. Okay, never mind. Let me give you some introduction. So now we are talking about ET energy transition, and there's a lot of various things are included in it. And one of it is electric charging station, and it comes under ESG that as we want to reduce the CO2 emission and stuff, because vehicle considerably releasing large amount of CO2 into the environment. So by electrifying all the vehicles, we can reduce the impact. But previously, the technology is not matured as if you want to charge the electric vehicle, it takes longer time, and the battery don't last longer. Don't give a lot of range compared to the time we charge. So, but when it came the emergence of lithium-ion battery, this technology kind of like a boom like that. Everybody is into EV and want to put a charging station and want to venture into produce EVs, and everybody is just into it. It's a new technology, so I just want to tell every new technology can be disruptive if we don't consider the impact of it. So that is what I'm going to talk about it today. So we can look in what are the adverse effects that it can bring, so we can counter it before it happens, before it disrupts our network. Okay, and this is how the EV charger concept. That's pointed. Let me just recap on this again, because it's simple as this. As you can see, this is the charger, this is the car. Just supply the car with the power, and it just starts the car. It's simple as that. And if we look at the schematic diagram, it will be look like this. This will be our charging station. Then it goes here. Then into the car and it charges. So we have two kind of charging, which is AC and also DC. It's more or less the same. It's just how and how long it takes to charge. DC is much more comparably charges faster, and it's better, but it takes high power. So we'll talk about it later. So it's actually from this will be the system. It goes into the rectifier. Rectifier will be somewhere here, or if it's in the DC system, the rectifier will be on the charger. Then it goes into the car. So this is the basic of how the charger charges the car. Okay, next. Without delaying, I'll just go into how it affects the system actually. So I'm only talking in terms of the network, not in terms of the car or the charging station or what. So this is in terms of how the utility sees this charging station. Okay. So how it affects the power demand. As you can see, charging station connected to the power network consequently charges the electric vehicle. Okay, never mind, I'll just conclude this again. Okay, it's actually the charging station charges the car. When one car charges the car, it doesn't give any effect. But what about in a community area, there's 50 houses, all of them want to charge their car, because mostly they want to charge at night, because they want to use it at the daytime, they want to go to work and stuff. So they want to use it at night. So all of them charging at night, and their house they're running with aircon and all other kind of stuff, right? So this kind of EV charging we didn't consider when we build the network. So this will increase in power demand in the local community itself. So the typical EV capacity ranges about 60 to suppose 160 kilowatt. It can go up to 160 kilowatt for DC. So this is per charger. What if 100 households are charging the car? So it's the power demand increase abruptly. Okay, next we can look into harmonics. Okay, harmonics. Okay, harmonic is something like, because we have a rectifier in the system. As I mentioned earlier, okay, somehow even AC or DC, it still converts back to DC to charge the battery. It's not AC just go directly. It's even AC goes in, the cars have a rectifier which is converted, then only it charges battery. So when in this kind of system, when we have a rectifier in the charger or inside the car, it produces harmonic. This harmonics is injected back into the system. So this harmonics, what is a harmonic? It's actually what they call the repetitive of the sinusoidal wave. So as you can see, this will be the main sinusoidal wave from the system. So this you can see there will be a first harmonic, which is repeat 2 times the frequency of the sinusoidal wave. So there will be first, second, third, fourth, fifth. There will be a lot of harmonics. So there's a lot of harmonics which is injected back into the system. You can see the red line over here. This will be the final output. These are the wave injected into the system. So actually, as a network, we need to maintain a sinusoidal wave for power quality issues. So this will be bring an adverse effect into the system itself. Okay then. Okay, voltage stability refers to the capacity of power network being steady after abrupt decrement in the load. EV draws a large amount of power from the grid in short duration, thus creating a sudden surge of load distribution network. Like we are mentioning just now, maybe we have a fleet, TNB have a fleet that need to be charged faster. So they have a DC system. So they all the fleet goes into the charging station and starts the system. So this will be abruptly increase the demand at that point where all the stations are need to be charged. So when all the stations are charging, they draw a lot of amps from the system. When it draws a lot of amps from the system, the voltage profile is affected. It's something similar to power demand, but this is the voltage profile kind of perspective. This is, yeah. Last not least, I would like to talk about something about transformers. So as I mentioned earlier, the harmonics that injected back into the system, where does the harmonic goes? Is it just running around across the system or what? No, it's actually go trapped inside the transformer. So actually all these harmonics go trapped inside the core of the transformer in terms of eddy current. So I'm pretty sure we have known about the eddy current, about the core losses and things. So this increases the eddy current over here. So when it keep increasing, it produces heat. It heat and you know the transformer heats due to low demand and increase. But without that itself, the transformer start heating because there's a lot of harmonic in the system. The harmonic got trapped in here. So in a long duration, maybe in the short term, it won't have any effect, but the long term, it reduces the lifespan of the transformer greatly. Maybe the transformer should last for 50 years. At the end, it don't even last for 20 years. We need to change back. So we as a TNB need to bear the cost because we are the one that take action to counter these measures. Yeah, okay then. Conclusion. So these, as I mentioned earlier, these are new technologies. These new technologies, we just need to analyze it on it before we implementation. Okay, maybe we are deploying in a small amount. We are not getting any adverse effect. But a lot of governments and private sectors are looking into charging stations and they want to applying with TNB to build more charging stations. So, as a system owner, we need to see what are the adverse impacts and we need to counter the impacts. It's not we cannot counter the effects. Maybe just for an example, for harmonics, maybe we can ask the consumer to provide some filters, or we can to decrease power demand during peak time. We ask the customers to put some battery chargers. There's a lot of solutions are out there that we can implement before it affects the system. So we just need to study the proper solution, so at a lower cost and to provide it don't affect the network. So as I mentioned earlier, new technology is like a fire. Fire. So when we first see fire, we go try to touch it, we get hurt. We try to control the fire. So by controlling the fire, we can heat the food, we can cook the food, we can boil the generator, we get electricity, everything we can do from the fire. So what we need to do, we need to analyze what it does, and how we can control it. From there, we can build a better network and a better future. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Of battery charges throughout Peninsula, we're targeting about 5,000, 10,000 by 2025. There's a lot of charging stations. Of course, AD is one of the key implementers to install it. We form a special dashboard to monitor its performance or installation. So the concern raised by Kalai basically on the disturbance caused because of sudden increase of current during the startup of the charging station. So that's why we put a special fuse to make sure that there's no interruption during the startup of this charging station. And then of course along the way it creates harmonics. And then the concern raised by Kala basically to identify system management to prevent this kind of interruption, causing, especially in harmonic, which damage our asset, especially transformer, but at the same time disturb our sensitive customer along the system. When I talk about the system, it's more like a distribution system customers. Okay, thank you, Kalai. One, I would like to invite our third presenter. She already stand up. Miss Shen. Nama manggil dia Shen. Nama penuh dia Khoo Shen. Okay. With the topic road to digitalization, the adoption of digital tools for project progress monitoring and reporting in SBU asset development. Silakan, Shen.
Okay, thank you, Session Chairman Tuan Haji Lokman, on the introduction and warm welcome. Salam sejahtera and a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shen, and today I'll be presenting to you my paper, Road to Digitalization, the adoption of digital tools for project progress monitoring and reporting in SBU asset development. Okay, so I think Tuan Haji has already done a good job introducing me. However, I would like to mention I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to be embarking on a 15 weeks technical program with DC. Without further ado, let's jump right into the 5 sections I'll be presenting today. So firstly, I'll be introducing why the need for digital adoption. Secondly, the digital applications that we actually use in SBU asset development. Thirdly, the benefits from our digitalization efforts, followed by some of our success stories. So ladies and gentlemen, I think our unit, SBU AD, is not foreign to all members of the floor. So SBU Asset Development is an up-and-coming strategic business unit within distribution network, and our core businesses involve service, new connection and system improvement/enhancement, LV and MV projects up to 33 kV. Some of the other projects worth noting that we execute and complete includes SCADA projects, conversions, EV charging, and rechargeable jug orders. So our unit operates under stringent guidelines. So we have our PSIs and SOPs compliant with Energy Commission's regulations in the end-to-end of our project planning, execution, and documentation. So these strict compliances leads to successful adherence to MSL 3B and GSL 3, just to name a few. Here with me, I have a simplified SBU AD organizational structure. So at first glance, we see that our unit is led by second to none, Tuan Haji Lokman, our head asset development, followed by our incredible lineup of leaders. We have lead business development, Mr. Shariman, our project director 1, Mr. Chia, project director 2, Tuan Haji Ahmad Suhaimi. Followed by our respectable chief engineers from each zone. I actually see some familiar faces today. Special shout out to my boss, Chief Engineer Asset Development Selangor Putrajaya Cyberjaya, Tuan Haji Muhammad Fatimi, who is also in the crowd today. So being away for DEC, I have not seen him for 11 weeks. So hi boss. Okay, so moving on, we actually at SBUAD we have achieved success in project progress monitoring and reporting the conventional way. So then comes the question, why the need for digital tools now? So well, the answer is actually quite simple. It's to stay relevant. Now hear me out. Digitalization is not merely a buzzword, it's a revolution. It allows us as a unit, regardless of roles, to make timely data-driven decision making. It enables data real-time integration and collaboration anytime, anywhere. And it is a custom-made, user-centric progress, monitoring and reporting for all of SBUAD and more. Okay, it's not coming out. Alright, so how exactly do we apply digital tools in SBUAD? So Google Workspace solution was ultimately our go-to platform. And now in 2023, Google Workspace solutions hold a very special place in our hearts. So this is founded and initiated by Project Director Khoo, who kickstarted digitalization efforts back in 2018. The SBU asset development now successfully expanded to 8 prominent categories, but not limited to project performance and monitoring, CAPEX reports, OER reports, and SID 50. This allows them to derive valuable insights, and it's actually their basis for strategic planning and decision making. An example, so when our bosses want to know a specific project's update, they can open the dashboard and have a look at it. They can also have the option to see when it was paving way for collaborations between team members to work on the data set simultaneously. So project implementer and his or her foreman can be working on the same data sets, they can be viewing it at the same time without interruption. And then the beauty of Lucas Studio is that dynamic interactions happen at each member's pace. So there's no specific time where somebody has to come first, somebody has to come second. And the interactive dashboards and commenting features allows them to input whatever they want at the same time. Last but not least, we have the user-centric progress monitoring and reporting. So at SBUAD, we prioritize users, which are mainly our talents, by ensuring user-friendliness to optimize ease of use. This leads to the ultimate user experience, which is also our goal. The digital tools are constantly up for improvement. So not saying that it's perfect, but it's always constantly up for improvement based on our user feedback to further enhance user satisfaction and adoption rates. Okay. So it is safe to say that all these digitalization efforts at SBUAD were broadly deemed a success, as reflected in a survey done at SBUAD management level, which resulted in positive feedbacks all around. Some of the common themes of successes gathered are such as data can be collected from each zones conveniently. So at SBUAD we have 5 zones. Next, we look at dashboard providing visibility to each zone's progress, and this allows for AD headquarters to step in with remedial assistance if needed. The actual performance and progress can be updated, monitored, and reviewed from any time and anywhere. Timely project updates will allow real-time project progress to be reflected on dashboard. It is an effective tool for reporting and analysis of data. And last but not least, one of our zones became the best zone in financial year 2022 after the adoption of Google War Room. However, it is no surprise that we still have a long way to go as we are still young in this digitalization journey. Some of the lessons learned thus far has introduced room for improvement, such as the complexities in getting less tech-savvy talents to continuously and regularly update the dashboard. This is one of the most highlighted issue, as Occasionally, we would have the requirement there's a duplication of data input required by talents, and this sort of dampens their motivation. And as our units transition from manual entries to Google Workspace solution, we see that there are also more room for automation, such as the data integration and linkage with SAP RMS could be further enhanced with collaborations with IT. And last but not least, we have talents who require additional efforts and trainings could be reached out and help to cope with this digitalization culture. Okay, so we actually acknowledge that these are areas for improvement and are committed to addressing them in order to fully capitalize on the 3 benefits as I mentioned earlier. And that is all. That is all from me today. So if you'd like to learn more about how Google Workspace solution can benefit you, I am happy to share more and give you a demo of Sage. Thank you.
Thank you, Shen, sharing our experience in SBUAD of digitalization, data revolution, they call it. So, Shen just shared with us on why we need this digitalization process, simply because it's a timely, data-driven and real-time, and then anytime, anywhere, and we can get the data. And furthermore, I think this is a process that in-house process. We can change the steps, the format, whatever the dashboard looks like overnight. We don't need to call up consultant to do some verification adjustment on the format. I think that's the beauty of it. So I can request the team to do some adjustment at 11 o'clock at night, and then tomorrow morning I'll see some little bit changes on the dashboard. That's the beauty of it. Thank you, Shani.